Hello, welcome. Happy Friday. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. The governor of the Virgin Islands has called the 32nd legislature into a special session, as we reported, to consider 7 proposed bills in which immediate action is necessary, according to a news release from Government House. In a letter of transmittal to Senate President Myron Jackson, the governor enclosed for consideration 6 bills that affect the Department of Education to the Virgin Islands horse racing industry. Stephanie Brown reports.
Governor Mapp wants the 32nd legislature to make immediate action. Yesterday, the Government House sent Senate President Myron Jackson the call and enclosed for considerations on proposed bills to amend and authorize provisions on the Virgin Islands Horse Racing Assistance Act of 2010. Secondly, an acquisition for the construction of the Paul E. Joseph Stadium project, as well as the construction of a nursing home facility on St. Thomas. The document also calls for the addressal of proposed bills to provide a reappropriation of funds to go towards the Virgin Islands Department of Education and the Department of Sports, Parks, and Recreation. In his 2016 and 2017 State of the Territory speeches, the governor spoke about structuring horse racing industry as a viable sports industry in the territory. The governor informed that a private operator with national recognized experience in the equine industry was willing to invest nearly $30 million to build a modern racetrack as well as facilities on both islands. However, the governor needs the legislator's support in making into law federal compliance on anti-doping rules to ensure that horse races in the Virgin Islands are conducted safely. In the governor's call for a special session, he exclaims that failure to act in this provision would mostly kill this deal and would prevent the government and the franchise holder from moving forward with construction of new racing facilities. At the special session to be held on Wednesday, May 10th at the Legislative Chambers in St. Thomas, the governor would like for legislatures to reprogram bond proceeds from completed capital projects to address infrastructural life and safety issues at the Department of Education, supporting facilities which cannot be funded through the Department of Interior. For News 2, I'm Stephanie Shalana Brown.
Governor Mapp is also requesting appropriation of $3 million to address the sewer repairs and line replacements to the Wanaflui Hospital. Count on 2 to keep you updated. Meanwhile, the ARDA Resort Owners Coalition, which is a nonprofit program sponsored by the American Resort Development Association, according to information provided by ARDA, the coalition is comprised of owners, developers, and managers who are committed to advocating for local, state, and federal policies that enable the vacation ownership industry to thrive. The ARDA Resort Owners Coalition filed a lawsuit against the Virgin Islands government over 3 environmental infrastructure fees. Impact fee, which is part of the Virgin Islands Revenue Enhancement and Recovery Act of 2017 to attain the fiscal stability and economic growth in the territory. The timeshare fee went into effect on May 1st and imposes a $25 per night fee for each night a timeshare unit is occupied. ARDA, Rockley, they leased statements exclaiming that they believe that owners who are already paying property taxes at the highest rate in the Virgin Islands, but also the fees will hurt the economy by making the region a less attractive tourism destination. Recently, the Great Bay Condominium Owners Association and the Ritz-Carlton Club of St. Thomas also filed lawsuits over the new environmental infrastructure fees. In other news, the officials of Virgin Islands Government and Highway Administration, they're reminding you that they will mark the resumption of work in the Turpentine Run Road project with a groundbreaking ceremony that's coming up in Estate Nada at 11 a.m. on Tuesday, May 9th. Residents of Nada, surrounding community, media, everybody will be there. Again, that's Tuesday, May 9th. It's the Turpentine Run Road project groundbreaking ceremony. Well, here's another update. The Virgin Islands still has an incomplete legislative body. The governor of the Virgin Islands called for a special session yesterday to address a number of issues that include the horse racing industry, the Virgin Islands Department of Education's infrastructure and funding to the Department of Sports, Parks and Recreation. However, Janelle Saru, that won the April 8th special elections, nor Kevin Rodriguez, that won the seat in the 2016 general elections, have been seated. The St. Thomas Board of Elections voted not to certify the special elections, stating that the situation between both senator-elects is beyond their authority and should be handled by the courts and the legislature. Currently, the territory is waiting on a ruling by the Third Circuit Court of Appeals on this matter. Well, just a reminder, the Department of Health is recognizing Mental Health Awareness Month with many different workshops that everyone should take advantage of. The very first one will be held on St. Thomas, May 8th from 10 to 12 at the Department of Human Services, the Head Start Conference Room for Art Therapy. Now, it is practiced in mental health rehabilitation, medical, educational, forensic, wellness, private practice, and community settings with diverse client populations in individual, couples, family, and group therapy formats. Art therapy is an effective treatment for people experiencing developmental, medical, educational, and social or psychological impairment. Individuals who benefit from art therapy include those who have survived trauma resulting from combat, abuse, and natural disaster, persons with adverse physical health conditions such as cancer, traumatic brain injury, and other disabilities, and persons with autism, dementia, depression, and other disorders. Art therapy also helps people resolve conflicts, improve interpersonal skills, manage problematic behaviors, reduce negative stress, and more. Some other activities that are planned during the month, May 3rd, there was the open house that was held at the Morris DeCastro Clinic in St. John. May 9th, from 10 to 12, it's the Stress Management Workshop at the Department of Education Parent University at Juanita Gardin Elementary School. May 21st at 8:45 a.m., a worship service at Memorial Moravian Church in St. Thomas, and various activities for the residents at the Eldra Schulterbrand Residential Facility and their families. Well, keeping our eye on the economy, Labor Commissioner Catherine Hendry is reminding all Virgin Islands employers and the general public that effective June 1st, 2017, the minimum wage in the U.S. Virgin Islands will be increased to $9.50 per hour for all employees, with the exception of tourist service and restaurant employees. If you have not complied with Title 24, Chapter 1 of the VI Code, you are in violation of this statute. To inquire further about this new minimum wage increase and/or to obtain a copy of the new minimum wage poster, you can contact the Division of Labor Relations on St. Croix at 340-773-1994 or St. Thomas 340-776-3700. Let's take a look at the stock market watch at the New York Stock Exchange. The Dow up 55, NASDAQ up 25, S&P 500 up 9. Coming up on News 2, some more crime cases, some updates on those, and much, much more. We'll be right back. Welcome back. The White House and congressional Republicans are still basking in their health care win, but that might be short-lived as the bill now heads to the Senate with an uncertain fate. Diane Gallagher reports from Washington.
A repeal and replace Rose Garden rally.
Welcome to the beginning of the end of Obamacare.
While some have criticized House Republicans and the White House for taking what looked like a victory lap after the controversial health care bill narrowly passed the House Thursday, that could have been their only chance to celebrate the bill.
Big day.
At least this version of it.
Well, it could change a little bit, could get maybe even better.
Because...
Mr. President, I'm sorry to disappoint you. This bill, in its current form, is not getting through the Senate. No way, no way.
Once it gets to the Senate...
Well, the Senate will write its own bill. I don't think that the House bill necessarily predicts what is in the Senate bill.
Senators on both sides of the aisle are already expressing reservations over the legislation itself.
You're not going to get one Democratic vote to support it in its current form because of the pre-existing condition, because of the tax cut, because of losses of coverage.
But also the way it passed. Some Republicans openly questioning the process their House colleagues used to push the bill through. too, criticizing the lack of information on just how many people would be covered and at what cost.
Yes, we should have had a CBO estimate.
Now, Senate leadership has said that it won't take up the bill until it receives a Congressional Budget Office score, but there is already a working group attempting to find some kind of consensus among Republicans in the Senate. According to a GOP aide, these are the 13 senators who make up that group, and while it is a mixture of leadership, conservative and moderate Republicans, notably missing women. In Washington, Diane Gallagher.
And I'll turn our attention back here into the courts. A man who was charged with aggravated rape and related offenses of a minor boy was released on an unsecured bond. Juan Rivera, 37 of Altona, appeared before VI Superior Court Magistrate Henry Carr on Friday morning to be advised of his rights on one count each of first-degree aggravated rape, unlawful sexual conduct, and child abuse following his arrest on Thursday. Magistrate Carr found probable cause to sustain the charges and release Rivera on $75,000 unsecured bond into the third-party custody of his mother. Magistrate Carr also ordered Rivera to abide by a number of court-imposed bail conditions, which include surrendering his passport. According to a probable cause fact sheet filed by Officer Tiana Hunt in support of the arrest, the child's mother told police that she noticed swelling and redness to her son's anus. She then asked him what happened, and he said Rivera put his finger in his anus. The child told his mother that although he cried, Rivera did not stop. The mother took the child to a doctor who, after examining the area, confirmed that there appeared to be irritation and redness that could possibly be from a finger being inserted repeatedly, according to Hunt. Rivera is scheduled to return to court on May 18th for his arraignment hearing, at which he would formally answer to the charges. And here's another update. Sentencing for Enrique Saldana, a convicted murderer and former VI police captain, has been delayed. Saldana was scheduled to be sentenced on Wednesday, but on Monday, VI Superior Court Judge Michael Dunstan signed an order to postpone the sentencing to May 30th. According to reports, it is in response to a motion filed from the defense counsel in the case. Saldana, 53, was arrested May 2nd, 2014, and charged with the murder of his wife, Jeanette McGrath Saldana. Prosecutors said Saldana drugged and beat his wife because she wanted to end their relationship, but Saldana's lawyers argue that it was a tragic accident. Governor Kenneth Mapp presented Virgin Islands Generation Network, or VINGN's president and CEO, Dr. Mark MacGibbon, with the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff Outstanding Public Service Award during a ceremony at Government House on St. Thomas on Tuesday. The Outstanding Public Service Award, which Mr. MacGibbon received on January 11, 2017 from United States Marine Corps General Joseph Dunford, is the highest award provided to a citizen and is normally awarded to federal employees. However, Dr. MacGibbon received his prestigious award while working in the private sector with Lockheed Martin Company Corporation, Executive Strategic Planning Division. During his employment there, he volunteered to teach at the National Defense University Information Resources Management College. At NDU, most professors taught only 1 to 2 courses, whereas Dr. MacGibbon, as a visiting industry chair professor, taught 19 courses. And in all 10 programs offered at the IRMC, no other full-time NDU professor in the history of the college or since has taught so many courses, while simultaneously receiving an A average on teaching critique questionnaires from 2006 to 2016. That, among many accolades, are what made him stand out. Well, many are presently partying in downtown, Christian said, as we speak, celebrating the triathlon jump up. All the streets are filled with residents and tourists enjoying some late night shopping deals, some music, and a whole lineup of musical entertainment as well. We will have those highlights for you on Monday. Meanwhile, We From Upstreet, they're continuing with their Centennial Activity Series. You can join them this evening, Friday, May 5th. Now, it started at 5 p.m. It's going on until at least 7:30. And then again on Saturday, May 6th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. as they present History Captured Through the Eyes of the Late Mr. Claude Malone, a renowned photographer of the Virgin Islands who captured historic photos of people, places, and events of the 20th century. This two-day exhibit will be at the J. Antonio Jarvis House Museum and Learning Center, located at the Alton Adams Drive, going east over Polyberg, just past the gas station. Admission is free. However, they say donations are always accepted. Drinks will be on sale. Well, the weekend is here and many are out presently celebrating Cinco de Mayo, or the 5th of May. It's a holiday that celebrates the date of the Mexican Army's 1862 victory over France at the Battle of Puebla during the Franco-Mexican War, 1861 to 1867, a relatively minor holiday in Mexico. In the United States, however, Cinco de Mayo has evolved into a commemoration of Mexican culture and heritage, particularly in areas with large Mexican-American populations. Right now, Yacht Haven Grand has the Chihuahua races going on, and that started at 6 p.m. Well, if you're looking for more to do, Emmett P. has your weekend guide with some other big events.
Ready. It's another episode when we out on the road. This is what we love to celebrate. Welcome to the Weekend Guide Post-Carnival 2017. Now, this weekend is an exciting debut of the One for All Multi-Purpose Center here in St. Thomas. Sunday is the grand opening celebration featuring the party band, Cool Session Brass. It's from 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. and this is a party you just don't want to miss. Now, the One for All Multi-Purpose Center is available to host your event. It can be from a baby shower, it could be a wedding reception, it could be a gala anniversary, whatever type, it's available for you. Even birthday parties, adults and children. They even have bunks houses that can house right inside this venue. It's perfectly safe and there is parking on site. Listen, if the parking reaches its capacity, they have a parking shuttle that can do pre-arranged parking to and from and bring you right to the venue. So it's all about service, it's all about accommodation, it's all about beauty. It's all about the One for All Multi-Purpose Center right here in St. Thomas. To get to the venue, left turn at Victor's intersection, first left come straight down the hill past the playground on the right, Viking Corporation on your left is the brown building located behind of the green warehouse. Friday, May 5th is Cinco de Mayo, so look out for a lot of fun and crazy events. But one thing we want to tell you, be safe. If you're drinking, don't drive. And St. Croix is the 19th annual Children Run in Christiansted, followed by the Crucian Triathlon Jump Up. And St. Thomas, the Rotary presents the 14th annual Cinco de Mayo Chihuahua races from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Yacht Haven Grand. It's an evening of music at the Old Stone Farmhouse from 7:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Saturday, May 6th, St. Thomas, the Copenhagen Choir are going to be performing at the Ryko Center for the Arts. There's a carnival aftermath featuring Kylo and the Styly Band along with DJ Country at Illusions Nightclub. At St. Croix, it's a Kiss and Tell lipstick night at Martini's Lounge and Nightclub. And Sunday, it's all about the one party, the Cool Session Brass here at the One for All Multi-Purpose Center. Make sure whatever you do, you have a happy and safe Cinco de Mayo. See you at the One for All Multi-Purpose Center.
Well, with all those events happening this weekend, let's see what the weather is going to look like. That's coming up next.
Across the area here, we've had just an area of high pressure to the north and east and some light to moderate trades. But as we go into early next week and this front draws a little closer, it kind of dies out, but we'll have an increase in some of the moisture here. So it brings us a little better chance for a shower or two around for your Monday or Tuesday. But as we take a look across the area right now, it's pretty spotty activity. In fact, looking here to the east, there's been just a little bit of isolated shower activity. And as we go into tonight and even tomorrow, we're just going to see perhaps a passing shower around early. Otherwise, patchy clouds, 76 degrees for tonight. And tomorrow we have a partly sunny sky in the forecast with a temperature of 85 degrees in St. John. St. Thomas, 85 degrees. Partly sunny skies here as well. Can't rule out just a stray, brief, isolated shower. And in St. Croix, 86 degrees with partly sunny skies. Looking at the waves here on the Atlantic side, we have waves 3 to 5 feet with an easterly wind of 10 to 15 knots. And on the Caribbean side, it's the same thing. We have easterly winds 10 to 15 knots, and we have waves at 3 to 5 feet. Looking through the forecast period now, we are going to see partly sunny skies for your Saturday. On Sunday, perhaps a brief shower in spots, but then a better chance. I mentioned that front coming closer Monday into Tuesday. So that may bring a little uptick in the moisture, even though the front itself dies out. With the extra moisture, we could see a shower or two around for your Monday, and then also a shower or two around for Tuesday. A high temperature on Monday of 84, 83 for your daytime high on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, we could see a shower or two in the area as well, with a high temperature of 84 degrees. Sandy?
Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend. Jose Herrera, first grader, sends in this News 2 weather picture with some beautiful outdoor conditions, and the sun is up, a nice rainbow, puffy white clouds. Jose, we hope you have a beautiful weather-wise, sunshiny picture just like that over the weekend. Thank you for that. Send us your News 2 weather picture to the address on the screen. Be sure to tune in and see it right here on News 2. Stick around. We have much more straight ahead. News 2 Sports with Gary. That is coming up next.
I'm Gary Anthony, and this is News 2 Sports. Today I am at Christiansted National Park, where on Sunday, this beautiful area will serve as a transition area for the very last St. Croix 70.3 half Ironman triathlon. Now, for the last couple of days, dozens and dozens of swimmers who are going to be participating have been jumping into the water here to practice on the swim course. But of course, today was registration day. Since 1988, thousands of athletes have registered to swim, bike, and run across the Big Island. Some of those who arrived early took advantage to practice on the swim course in Christiansted Harbor. Athletes from near and far are looking forward to participating in this last triathlon.
I'm pretty excited. The swim today, I felt good about it. I'm really looking forward to the run on Sunday. Hopefully it's not as hot as it is today.
I'm from Kelowna, British Columbia, Canada, and this is my first time at St. Croix as well as my first half Ironman, so I'm pretty excited to be here. I wanted it to be special for my first half, and I wanted it to be beautiful, and this was one of the more difficult courses, so I figured I'd challenge myself and find somewhere beautiful to do it.
After 29 years of swimming, biking, and running, there are an almost endless supply of tales and memories. For Project St. Croix director Tom Guthrie, this particular memory comes to mind.
I would say the fondest memory is the Lance year. That was a lot of fun. There was a palpable excitement all around St. Croix.
There will be parking and traffic restrictions through most of the day. However, starting with the fan-friendly swim start at 6:30, it's an important day for St. Croix, the end of an era, and many hope that St. Croix residents come out on Sunday and show their support.
Well, considering this is the 29th triathlon on St. Croix, I really feel like since it's the last one, it's very important that everybody comes out and show their support for what's been carried on for the past 29 years. It's really great for the community to get involved, and moving forward, hopefully we can find something else to take the place of the triathlon to continue the celebration.
You could come see me and some of my triathlon buddies on Sunday. Please come out and support the final one.
From the streets of St. Croix, let's gallop over to Churchill Downs, Kentucky. On Saturday, they've got the greatest spectacle in horse racing, the 143rd running of the Kentucky Derby. There are 20 horses this year, and the weather is expected to be cloudy and cool for the Run to the Roses. Post time is 6:34. Odds makers say Classic Empire is this year's favorite. However, the overwhelming sentimental favorite is Patch, the wonderful horse who lost his eye last year. That's it for sports. If you're here on St. Croix early morning Sunday, I will be here in the transition area, or you might even catch me out on the road as I'll be on the back of a motorcycle. Everybody have a fantastic weekend, and Sandy, back to you.
You as well, Gary. So be sure to look out for Gary if you're over there in St. Croix checking out the triathlon. That's all for this edition. We'd like to thank you for joining us. On behalf of all of us here at News 2, have a wonderful weekend.